So let's talk a little bit about where you see MMB. I mean, we don't know how long you'll serve. We don't know what the future holds in that regard. But as you look down the road, what changes do you see in the way in which MMB operates? And if you can share with us, are there some specific recommendations you would make for future governors of either party who might look to MMB for professional advice?
I think one of the two areas I really think are critical, and that's the budget area and the bonding area. In the budget area, it's really difficult to put together budget preparation for any governor, I think, with this large of a government operation. And, $40-some billion every 2 years. And you have to track down all the programs and all the different nuances. There are so many special funds, dedicated funds for different activities that you have to track as well. So one of the recommendations that I'll be making to the governor, and one of the things he would like to see is a more simple, in a way, budget system that can present the different agencies, the different programs in a way that not only the executive, but that the legislative branch can get a better handle on, and that the public can understand as well. I have to tell you that it's difficult to understand some of our budget preparations because there's so much interplay with special funds, federal funds, and so we've got to try to make that more transparent and more understandable. That's going to be a challenge. And the other thing I think that really we need to work on in the future is bonding. Bonding is such an important part of the state. In the past, we used to always have this year, the odd numbered year, the first year of the biennium was always a budget year. And in fact, we have to put together a budget. We have to come to agreement on a budget by the end of this session or by June 30th so that the government can continue to operate in the next biennium. And typically, the bonding bill has been done in the even-numbered years, in the short session. But Governor Dayton and some other governors in the last decade have sort of sped that process up a little bit, and there are bonding bills in many years in both years. And part of the difficulty is in evaluating and prioritizing those bonding projects. As you can imagine, across the state, there are a lot of needs. You have the MnSCU system with all of its buildings, the University of Minnesota. You have the agencies, the Department of Corrections. You have local bonding projects. You have, of course, the trunk highway system is another bonding source. So you have a lot of different needs that need to get prioritized in a way that makes the most sense. But as you know, the bonding bill requires a supermajority.
60%.
So it makes it even more difficult. So you have to make sure, and rightfully so, it should be a mix around the state. I mean, everyone understands that, and they want that to be true. But I think that's another area where we can try to provide some more guidance and some more transparency as to the bonding process so that the public and people around the state can get a better sense of why are we doing a project in Mankato or St. Cloud or in Halleck, Minnesota.